Hi everyone, this is my assignment 5, revisions and rationale for my assignment 4 unit. So first of all, my unit was about creating a budget, and my understandings that I wanted my students to have were importance of savings goals, how to use a sinking fund, developing a plan for spending and saving, and then analyzing how changes in circumstances can affect a personal budget. So when looking at the importance of long-term and short-term savings goals, one of the activities I had them do was create your savings goals. And this just had them look at, do they want to own a home? Do they want to go to college? Do they want to buy a car? And then determine if those are short-term or long-term. And then from there, they did the how to save activity where they looked at what a sinking fund is and then determined how much they needed to save each paycheck or each month in order to reach their savings goals. Next, for developing a plan for spending, we looked at our budgeting expenses and then they actually created a budget, and within that budget they looked at all the different spending categories that you would have. And then lastly, analyzing how changes in circumstances can affect a personal budget. I actually started with that one with the bean game. This is a game where they had beans that represented money, and they had a little mat, and they got to put their beans on their spending items, and then they had to cut their budget for several rounds, and it really made them look at some of their priorities when it came to spending and saving. So I thought that was really cool. So I think that this is pretty real world and authentic. I hope everybody's keeping a budget, and I know that they're not fun, but they actually got on a Google Sheet, and I created this template for them, but then they had to, calculate their income, savings, expenses, and everything that goes along with that. So I think this is real world, authentic, and I put this along with the E5B, which is designing authentic learning activities that align with content standards and use digital tools. So obviously they're using a digital tool here, and it makes calculating easy. And I think that's where budgeting gets hard for people, because they don't like to do the calculating. And when you can use this digital tool where it does the calculating for you, it makes it easy. Are a variety of appropriate assessment formats used. So these, I took this snip from my actual unit plan here. You're kind of hard to see me here. But they have to create a zero-based budget, calculate income, use sinking fund. And I think that, rather than just going off how they created their budget, they're able to show me that they can reach some of these, like calculating income and using sinking fund. They can reach some of those assessment criteria through some of these other activities rather than just this one. Lastly, are they able to self-assess and reflect on their learning and performance? So this is just a snippet from my final activity where they actually analyze their budget. And ahead of this, it kind of asks them, why did you choose the career that you did? And other questions like that. But at the end, it makes them think about how their budget actually worked out, and then what they would do if they had a surplus or a deficit. How would they fix that within their budget? And then those decisions that kind of led to the final outcome. So I think that they had the opportunity to self-assess and reflect upon their learning and performance. So as far as things that I would change, I would think I would definitely like to add some more collaboration within some of my activities. And I know that that was hard with our current situation that we're in with our distance learning. But I'd also like to include some peer assessment, especially when it came to the budgeting piece, because everybody has different priorities. And it's kind of good to see some of our other students' perspectives. So I think that's something that I would really like to add into my unit next time I do this.